Next up at UFC Vegas 42, we have Marc Diakiese versus Rafael Alves. Marc is 14-4 overall, 2-3 in his last 5, coming off of a decision loss to phenomenal kickboxer Rafael Fizayev a year ago. And Rafael Alves is 4-1 in his last 5, 19-10 overall. And he did have a nice little win streak before the UFC absolutely punished him with his last matchup. Marc Diakiese. Marc is a very good kickboxer. He's coming back after a year layoff. He has a ton of power, and he sets everything up with leg kicks and body shots. He's the type of guy who invests early for a payoff in later rounds. He's very durable, but he does have holes on the ground. And in this matchup that could cost him the fight, luckily for him, Rafael Alves has yet to take anybody down in his UFC career. Rafael Alves is the proud owner of the biggest weight miss of all time in the UFC. That dude missed weight, what was it, 16 pounds or something freaking absurd?
Yeah, he was supposed to be 145, and he missed 145 and 155. I think he was 157 pounds or something.
It was something absurd, and it is literally the biggest weight miss in the history of the UFC, so good for him. This is his second fight at 155. He's now bumped up after that weight miss. And moving up is, he finally has a favorable matchup. His last matchup at 155 against Ismagulov, right, was just straight up punishment. That was just the UFC saying, you don't do that to us. They punished him, and now he has himself at least what can be a winnable fight. Alves is very flashy with solid speed and power. He is a finisher, but if he doesn't finish, he can get into some trouble because his cardio is not amazing. He can finish you both standing or on the ground, but again, we have yet to see him get a single takedown in the UFC. Again, he had cardio issues at 45. I expect him to be a little more buttoned up at 155, but we'll see what happens. Interesting matchup. Alves is far more dangerous. If you make a mistake striking, he will knock you out. If you make a mistake on the ground, he will submit you. But if you can keep it technical, push the pace, you should be able to tire him out, take the win. I'm going with Marc here after the year-long layoff. I think the leg kicks will help sort of remove some of that Alves power. I think the body shots will speed up Alves' eventual gassing. It's a dangerous fight, but if he stays composed, Marc should have a straightforward win. You're making stupid faces. What do you think?
Yeah, Marc's going to absolutely dominate this fight. You mentioned the Ismagulov fight that they gave Rafael. I feel like this is I feel like they just want him to just end his contract on losses. I think this is another one. Like, here you go, dumbass, way to go. And Marc's going to absolutely dominate this fight. You mentioned holes in his wrestling game. I don't see that. He actually trains with Khamzat. If that is any indication of how his wrestling is. So he trains with Khamzat.
Not holes in his wrestling, holes on the ground. If you get him down, he's a little bit of a fish out of water.
I disagree because I have in my notes, he knows how to get to his feet. It's not a guy that's just going to pull guard. Where Rafael will just pull guard, right? He'll jump. He's going to try and jump on somebody's neck, and he's willing to just pull guard. And he saw it in his last fight. He'll just lay on his back and get completely dominated. I think that Marc can come in and use his offensive wrestling if he needs to control this fight. But I think he's going to absolutely dominate him on the feet. He's got to withstand that early barrage, right? Because we'll see Rafael. We saw the Ismagulov fight. He'll just blitz across with some wild stuff. So Marc's got to be tough. Got to be smart early. And you look at his losses, he's 14-4. His losses are Jakar Close, a split decision loss. He got choked out by Dan Hooker, lost a decision to Hapgrass, and lost the decision to Fizayev. So those are not slouches at all. I think this guy is the real deal. They want him to get a nice, solid win under his belt, so they give him the fat-ass Rafael, and he's going to dominate this fight. So I like him a lot, and I'll probably put him in my DraftKings on him.
So, it's funny to say that he didn't look that bad against Ismagulov, and then also he's going to get smoked.
I didn't say he didn't look bad. I think he looked awful against Ismagulov.
I'm sorry. The comment section said he actually looked good against Ismagulov. I pinned some comments. He didn't tire out in that fight. And that actually is a factor. 155, he may not be as suck dry as at 145 as he was. What do you think of so you like Marc in your DraftKings lineup? You think there's a stoppage. He's under $9,000. Great. What do you think of the monkey knife fight line?
I probably play more.
I
Because
agree. That seems like a
Rafael,
low line.
he is tough. I think he's probably going to gas. I think Mark's the real deal though, and watch out for Mark. Will do some flying knees too. And if Rafael's taking sloppy shots, we've seen like for some reason flying knees are like the new thing, right? Everyone's doing flying knees. Everyone's getting knocked out. Seems like every single week by flying knees. So this is if I'm gonna try and find a flying knee prop, and I'm hitting it.
It's interesting. Like you say, if he takes a sloppy shot, as dangerous as he is on the ground, he doesn't have a single takedown in the UFC,
Right.
not one.
Right.
Which is interesting. And you know, not that he's not capable. He just hasn't. He's perfectly fine striking and moving forward. I do like the more and more monkey knife fight. I think unless there's an early flash knockout, both these guys are tough. Both these guys are going to fight. More and more should be fine. And this probably, I think this is, it should go to a decision, but there could be a stoppage on the Diakiese side. I wish I was pronouncing that correctly. Either way, this should be a fun one. Grab some props. wewantpicks.com/bets. Jump into a promo, and I'll pay you $50. Before you go to wewantpicks.com/bets. We have 3 different betting partners. Jump into one of them. They all have deposit matches. Make a deposit. Let me know, and I will send you $50. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, however you want it, as a thank you for supporting us and our partners. wewantpicks.com/bets.